microwaves. All right, I'm going to cook up a quick snack. These are protein pumpkin flavored popcorn, afternoon snack if you'd like. But what it is the fun fact about these caramel bites, Smart Sweets is actually a lot lower in sugar. I believe there's only 1 gram of sugar per bag, and so this is 1 bag with 7 pieces as well as the other one. So what I did for this is, because I could use a giant pot, however, the fact that we're going to be mixing this all together, I want to make sure that everything is thoroughly combined. I'm going to use a smaller pot and split the ingredients in half. So what I have is 150 grams of kernels in each half, a scoop and a half of the protein powder from First Form, Smart Sweets caramels, so 1 bag of these, 40 milliliters of milk, and 12 milliliters of coconut oil. Just letting you know, it's 300 grams, 3 scoops, 2 bags, 80 milliliters, 24 milliliters of coconut oil as well. So I'm gonna use this. We're gonna turn the stove onto medium heat, heat up the kernels, and get started. All right, so turning our stove onto a medium heat, I'm going to light up the stove here real quick, put it onto medium. Also, we'll scoop out the coconut oil there. I think that just easily plopped out for me. And then let this melt, just coating base. So I'm gonna bring the coconut oil around. All right, now that the base is coated, I'm gonna slowly pour in the kernels, kind of spread them out and around. What I'm still going to do is just kind of coat the kernels a little bit more with the coconut oil, scoop them around, make sure they're not too clumped up, and then I'm going to cover these. So you wanna cook these, I'm going to guess it's probably gonna take anywhere between 5 to 8 minutes, depending on your stove's power, if it's electric, gas. But what I would suggest is covering this with a lid, so that way the popcorn's not flying out all over the place. What you're gonna listen for is the kernel pop to slow down. It will increase, it will speed up, it's gonna sound like there's a big explosion. That's okay, let it do its thing, and then once it's finished, then you'll go ahead and hear the kernels kind of come to either a slow, probably not a stop, you don't want them to burn, but once they slow down, you'll be done, and then we can take them out of the pot. All right, so while the popcorn is popping right now, I can start to hear the very beginnings of the crackling, so hopefully you can hear me over that. I'm going to put all of the ingredients that need to get heated up into the microwave, and then I'm going to send them over just so that way they can be mixed up in a smaller bowl before we put them all together with the popcorn. So let me just go ahead and get this in. You could use a sauce pot as well, it's up to you, but for the sake of me and easy convenience, I actually like to do things sometimes. Put the caramel bites in. It might be a little bit stuck together at this point, so you can just scoop them out. And then I'm gonna wait for the protein powder once these are all melted together. So I'm gonna add these together. Okay, so I just pulled the caramels and milk out of the microwave, so I'm just gonna actually give this a little whirl and start stirring this up together. You can tell it's melted really well. Oh my goodness, it smells amazing. Kind of almost reminds me of like the Halloween candy corns. Then I'm gonna start adding in the scoop right here, and I can actually start to hear the kernels are slowing down little by little at this point. Now you can see here, I've added quite a bit of protein powder. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually add a little bit more water and then throw it back into the microwave. So this is where you can mess around with it with your saucepan as you heat it up. But let me just go ahead and add a little bit more water, take the popcorn kernels off, heat it up in the microwave again, and then pull it back out. All right, so I've microwaved this up even more, again, stirring it all together here. The consistency is starting to look a little bit better, but I want to add just a little bit more. So for the milk, you can add unsweetened almond milk if you want, or regular milk. What I have is the unsweetened almond milk, so it just gives it a little bit less calorie difference. Now let's just add a little bit more water. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So you want to use a fork to whisk it up nice and well. Now, there are going to be just a little bit of clumps in here with the fork, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a whisk and get it finished up through there. There we go. Now with the caramel pieces, obviously it might get a little difficult to get every single clump out, but at least this is a nice and smooth consistency overall. Okay, so what you'll do with the popcorn, so our popcorn's already ready to go. It's a nice, beautiful texture right here. Any pieces that stick on the bottom, keep them on the bottom. You don't want to eat the burnt popcorn. Take that to the side. We're gonna go ahead and scoop this in. Grab a spatula take the coating. And then what you'll notice, this is going to drastically decrease the size of the popcorn. So I just want to warn you that this might seem like a lot of popcorn at first because this is only the first half of the batch, but this is actually quite a bit. Scoop around in here, and you really want to coat as much as you can of it. If there's any pieces that fall out, try to catch them. And you'll spend probably a good couple of minutes actually stirring through this. All right, so a lot of it's getting pretty coated here. Now I'm gonna add in a little bit of that sea salt. Salted caramel corn. Wow, there we go. That's what it's called. Okay. Continue to let the popcorn do its thing. Like I said, it's gonna start to shrivel up a little bit more. And then you can put these in individual storage containers. Sometimes people like to put them in things like mason jars. I would even say, I'm not a huge fan, but resealable Ziploc bags, if you can, resealable. These look pretty good. All right, let's give it a little bit of a bite. Oh yeah, and in my opinion, you could even use a little bit more salt. It's pretty sweet for the most part, but what a great way to sneak in a little bit of protein. I like it. And especially if you're coming from a workout, the salt will help with the electrolytes as well. We've done great. I like it. I like how it looks. All right, let's finish up the next half of the batch and we'll get it started. Okay, so now that we've cooked all the popcorn, the one thing that I would suggest is to let it cool. Allow the popcorn to crisp back with the toppings on top so that way it's crunchy again rather than a little bit more on the squishy side. So some of these are starting to actually crunch up for me and I might as well eat it. It's stuck to my finger. Yeah, that's great. I even like to suggest putting these in mason jars. Again, the mason jar is a little bit warm because of the coating on top. It's still cooling down, but these came out to be so beautiful. You can make them as party favors, give them to your kids as snacks, and if you want, you can even have it as a party dish so people can have this as a still an all-around balanced macro-friendly food. So enjoy these and happy holidays.